It was a follow-up to a story that turned into much more, and it happened in southeast Portland.
And we were checking back in on a neighborhood that had complained about homeless RVs lining their street. Only this time we discovered something that changed everything. Here's tonight's City and Crisis Finding Solutions report. Several neighbors told us about him, but we wondered how much was true. When we visited Southeast Clinton Street a few weeks ago, we encountered homeless RVs and other vehicles lining the streets.
What the hell is this? Get off my lawn.
Neighbors questioned whether the city was doing enough to find them another place to park. They told us about a neighbor who they felt had made things too comfortable for the homeless by encouraging them to stay, and had taken matters into his own hands, deciding which homeless vehicles can park along Clinton and which ones can't.
Thank you.
Even this man who lives in an RV on the street is aware of him.
The owner of this house, he makes sure that this block is clean. He don't allow trash on the yards.
Was there really a neighborhood sheriff, a ruling presence? Obviously, people have had concerns about all the homeless up and down the street.
Because they don't know.
Meet Kenny Hausman.
Yeah, when you pull up with a piece of junk, I don't want you here.
Get off my lawn.
If you pull up with a decent trailer that you obviously own, maybe even have put plates on it, I want you here.
Hausman tells me he's owned the entire block of property that stretches the length of Clinton Street since 2019. It's the street where the homeless campers park their RVs and other vehicles. He decides who stays and who goes. He doesn't allow late-night parties and no loud generators.
If they're those kind of people, then you have to take steps to get them out.
And despite neighborhood complaints, he attributes his screening process to keeping the neighbors safer.
Thanks to my efforts, their catalytic converters, a few of them are stolen, gas, a few of it's stolen, because you don't want those kind of people that steal catalytic converters and gas, you don't want them on your street, you don't want them in your neighborhood. So you have to know who's on your street.
So you maintain who's on the street and who's not. I mean, this is
semi-illegally and semi-legally. It's kind of right in the middle there saying.
Hausman, a Vietnam vet, wouldn't tell me what steps he takes to remove campers he doesn't want. He says he also convinced some gang members with guns to leave.
I managed to get rid of them without any violence.
How'd you do that?
Cost me a couple $100, but they're gone.
Did you just pay him to leave?
No, but they're gone.
So what's his motivation for keeping the streets lined with campers? He says these days someone is going to park there, and the more you know about them, the better. He says the complaining neighbors have it all wrong.
They just see a motorhome. They think, oh no, homeless, crime, drugs, etc. They don't see Tim, who I think works, I'm not sure, but he won't steal from them or anything else. They don't see, I don't know Jim very well, the old man Steve living on Social Security. Needs a place to stay.
So you've screened all these people on this street?
I have to. Yeah, you have to know who's here.
Some neighbors have described criminal activity that they blame on their neighbors living on the streets. When we checked police records for the neighborhood in the past year, here's what we found. Above average number of assaults, stolen cars, and weapons violations, although none of that can be attributed directly to the homeless campers. Still, much of the neighborhood ire is directed at Hausman himself. Watch what happens during our interview when another neighbor pulls up claiming that Hausman provides electricity to the homeless campers.
The gym across the street.
Give them electric and all that power cord.
You're full of Hey, get the hell out of here. Go screw yourself. Go screw yourself. Sit on it.
Richard,
Yeah?
go to the field and sit on it.
Have a good time. And that's what you do. So
That's
now he's
obviously
saying,
one of the neighbors who says that you're allowing these people to be here, so he's upset
yeah,
about
see,
that.
he doesn't know anything. You don't see any power cords going out there. None.
The City of Portland Street Services Coordination Center sent me this statement regarding Hausman and his neighborhood rule. It reads in part, Mr. Hausman has been known to contact city workers and attempt to enable people to stay on the block, though he does not have the authority to monitor the public street bordering his property. The city plans to make sure this area is slated for more regular check-ins, in addition to the normal reporting process. But don't expect Hausman to stop managing the street, choosing his neighbors. After all, he insists it's the only way it will work.
All of this, you don't find any car thieves here. You don't find people laying around doing drugs, etc. You shouldn't find any needles. All the trash is in one spot for CCC to pick up. They gotta live someplace, but the good ones have to live someplace. The others, they can't live here.
One other note we wanted to tell you, the City of Portland tells me that on Tuesday of this week, they tagged the vehicles on Clinton Street for removal. That means they have 10 days to move or they will be towed. They say this has been in the works for a while. We'll keep you posted on what happens next.
Have you noticed that as everything around you seems to decline, one thing still grows? It is the power of your rulers. None of their plans and directives have solved your problems or made your life better. The only result has been their increased control over you at the cost of your freedom. Do you know why? You gave them the power.